Monday, Monday, come inside my manhole. Monday, Monday, come inside my manhole. Monday, Monday, come inside my manhole. You'll have fun as long as you come.
Steve, do you know what day it is? I didn't know we had days in SHELLEY. Yeah, me neither. But it just seems like that God guy comes up to us every day and tells us it's Monday. And then that creepy television monster comes flying in and showing us shit. I hadn't thought of that. How can every day be Monday? Shush, I think I hear his poofy cloud a-coming. It's Monday. Time to watch the movies. It's actually, Tuesday? And on Tuesdays you let us free, remember? Nonsense. Every day is Monday in SHELLEY, my mangy children. But if every day is Monday here, how can we, worship you on Sunday? Yeah, we really have a big old dripping boner about worshiping you, so be a dear and change the day to Sunday. Oh, such a lovely sentiment. As unworthy as you wretches are of worshipping me, I can't think of anyone more worthy of worship than me. So we don't have to watch movies today? Of course you have to watch movies. It's Monday after all. But after the movie, I expect you to worship me for 1,000,000 hours straight. Well, this kind of backfired like a T-Rex with explosive diarrhea. Azazel, roll the movie. What the fig hole is a Frankenstein? Well, Frankfurt is a kind of penis shape, so this might actually be a good movie for once. So Frankenstein went away already. Well, this was a short movie. Damn, I think the movie's still going on, though it's kind of hard to tell underneath that blizzard. Maybe in the future they've found a way to make it snow indoors. Do you mean to tell me that it was 2 years after Frankenstein went to college before he put his hand in his pants for the first time? Such an avid student. Why, now he's getting on his knees to practice his BJ stunts. He's got a lot to learn about oral sex. Yes, less note-taking and more horn-blowing. Ooh, now he's starting to get into the real spirit of college and experimenting. Dr. Frankenstein always makes sure that he still has his hair and his balls before he sits down. Well, he must really be in the mood, because he's kissing up on his cum rag. Just when things looked like they were getting randy, he starts taking boring notes again. Well, that's just too many words. I ain't gonna read that. I don't get it. He's writing his sweetheart to tell her that he's creating the perfect man. Yeah, if he's creating the perfect man, what's he even need his sweetheart for anymore? So do people in the future actually like watching people write stuff on paper? Relax, Steve. I think things is picking up. He's getting sick of that little sheet of paper, and he's grabbing him one of them sit and spin butt plugs. So he creates a monster instead of a perfect human being? Well, how do you even make that kind of a mistake? And who cares, just so long as it puts out and all? Oh no, he's going to bone that skeleton, isn't he? Well, at least he's got that jug of lube off to the right. I wonder what he's mixing up. Probably a little of that Spanish fly, but the kind that works on corpses. Dr. Frankenstein has managed to recreate a dragon's fart. Those doors look like they're made of steel, but move like they're made of cardboard. When you take a dump in Dr. Frankenstein's toilet, it takes a dump back at you. Looks like Frankenstein's getting all pervy at the peeping hole. He should have made it lower, then it would have been a glory hole. I can't say I know exactly what that is, but it seems to be getting more and more erect. Whatever it is, it's got Frankenstein groping himself in glee. You better get back to that peephole, Frankenstein. You might miss a burnt nipple. Frankenstein's monster is burning up in reverse. Frankenstein will be happy to know that his monster has the jacking movement down pat. Boy, peep shows in the future are not nearly as sexy as they were back in Eden. What are you talking about, Steve? Can't you see how smoking hot he is? Dr. Frankenstein is worried because his monster is getting used to stroking something much larger than he is. Well, now it's learning how to pleasure two clients at one time. His creation seems perfectly functional to me. I don't see why he's calling it a monster. Those bookworm types sure are weird. I ain't ever seen anyone run from a hand job before. He seemed perfectly happy with it when it looked like burnt spare ribs. Yeah, I don't know why he's getting all snooty about his creation now. Oh no, it looks like demons are possessing his hands and grabbing his head to smash it in. Yeah, I think he misunderstood the term beat yourself off. It looks like Frankenstein's about to find out what it feels like to be pounded by a giant treasure troll. I think Frankenstein might be succumbing to his furry wiles. Frankenstein falls asleep at the most inconvenient times. I think that monster's got magical powers. Just by rubbing its nipples, it makes Frankenstein fall on his ass. Then the butler comes in and, in order to get a few cheap gropes in, pretends like his master needs the Heimlich maneuver. Wow, things are moving fast. That butler's done moved on to some heavy petting. And so at long last, Frankenstein returns to his Siberian blizzard house. Well, ain't that cute? He likes to write and she likes to read. Frankenstein is so lazy that he won't put away his own walking stick. Well, that relationship went south real quick. He's trying to crush her poor little head. Frankenstein ought to be ashamed. That man looks too decrepit, forced into manual labor. Well, that's a pretty big mirror. It's good for when Frankenstein decides to shave his ass hair. I don't think anyone's ever taught Frankenstein how to sit in a chair. It looks like Quasimodo's come down from his bell tower for a quickie. Frankenstein's gonna have to pay to get that carpet shampooed, cause that monster's wearing bananas for slippers. Always a trickster, the monster invites Frankenstein to sit on a whoopee cushion. He's like, gotcha. Now the monster shows off his medical savvy by removing several large tumors from Frankenstein's shoulder. The monster can't help but notice he ain't getting nowhere with Frankenstein, so he goes off to take a cold shower. Now that's a real tough one. How does one keep both their wife and the Klingon in the closet happy at the same time? It looks like that mirror's perfectly positioned so that they don't ever have to change camera angles. With the wife out of the picture, they now feel free to get down to some good old-fashioned manhandling. Well, that was quick. Frankenstein must have prematurely ejaculated. A slow learner, the monster could only get the Y motion from the YMCA dance down. It looks like it's wedding night, and the women have all dolled themselves up in their best fajita wrap hats. She sure is shaking a lot of hands. She must be building her hand up for one hell of a wedding night hand job. What a cute couple. I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen to them. Well, maybe not. Now it looks like they're arguing over whether they should put her hand in warm water or put shaving cream on her hand and tickle her nose. Before running off to chase his evil monster, Dr. Frankenstein stops to pull out his wife's abscessed molar. Looks like the monster is about to go through the looking glass in search for a bandersnatch to bugger. Something tells me this is gonna have one stupid ass ending. Of course not, Adam. He simply changed the sex bot that he made in his college dorm room into his reflection by pointing at it. Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. Of course, Adam. Love conquers all, especially the suspension of disbelief. Woo-wee, that crap fest is over, Steve. So what did you learn from watching Frankenstein? I learned that if you make a living sex doll in your college dorm room, make sure to create one you actually want to fuck. That was too crude, Adam. Even freakish monster blow-up dolls have feelings. Now, Steve, don't be too hard on Adam. He learned exactly what I wanted him to.
Really? I thought I was just being a dick.
Well, dickiness is next to godliness. Or something like that.
So we're supposed to learn how to be assholes? I thought we were supposed to learn who murdered us.
You're so right, Steve. Murder's right up there with godliness, too. But whatever. Get to worshipping me.
What?
You're going to worship me for 1 million hours straight, remember?
I've never worshipped anyone before. I don't know how.
It's easy. You can start by telling me how sexy I am. 100,000 times.
You're sexier than, a gallbladder.
Salvation